Ladies and gentlemen, I need your attention. Not your casual attention, not your scrolling through your phone attention. I need the kind of attention you give when the ground starts shaking under your feet, because something is happening right now, something big, something life-altering, and they haven't announced it yet, but it's here. See, life doesn't always ring the bell before it delivers your breakthrough. It doesn't send you an email. There's no news headline, no crowd cheering your name. Sometimes your moment arrives wrapped in silence, quiet, uncelebrated, and unannounced. But just because they haven't seen it doesn't mean it ain't real. The table has been set in rooms you haven't walked into yet. That means while you've been working, growing, stretching yourself beyond what's comfortable, something has been forming in the background, something with your name on it. Something that doesn't require you to knock on doors and beg to be seen. You've been thinking nothing's happening, but what if the silence wasn't a stop? It was a setup. While you've been wondering if you've been forgotten, the truth is you've already been positioned. The invitation just hasn't reached your inbox yet. People often think visibility equals value. That if no one is clapping, no one is noticing, then somehow they're not worthy. But let me tell you something. They don't have to clap for the table to be real. That table exists whether they recognize you or not. The right people are already pulling up chairs. The right opportunities are already aligned with your footsteps. This is bigger than a job interview, a spotlight, or a social media post. This is a divine arrangement. It's legacy level. You can't rush into it, and you can't fake your way into it. It was built for who you're becoming, not who you used to be. And that's why the weight felt heavy, because the weight of the assignment was never light. You weren't just being delayed, you were being developed. You had to go through the loss. You had to sit in the dark. You had to learn who to trust, how to rise, and what not to carry with you. It wasn't punishment, it was preparation. If you had walked into that room too early, you wouldn't have had the capacity to keep what's waiting for you. Now, you've got the scars and the strength. You've got the depth to hold the blessing without dropping it. What you don't realize is while they were booking stages, you were building character. While they were being seen, you were being shaped. And there's something unshakable about a person who knows they don't need attention to have impact. Because when you enter that room, you're not walking in with a resume. You're walking in with realness, the kind you can't manufacture, the kind they'll feel when you speak, the kind that can only be born from pain, perseverance, and purpose. This isn't about popularity. It's about power, quiet power, the kind that moves people before you even say a word, the kind that shifts the atmosphere. You think you're just another voice, another dreamer, another person trying to make it. But what's really happening is you're carrying something this world didn't even know it needed. That's why you've been hidden, protected, preserved, not forgotten, reserved. That room you haven't entered yet, it's not just waiting on you. It's incomplete without you. There's a role only you can fill, a space only you can occupy, not because you're perfect, not because you've done everything right, but because what you carry is rooted in truth. And truth has a way of rising even when buried. You don't have to beg for the door to open. It's already been unlocked. You're just on the path to reach it. Don't let the lack of noise fool you into thinking nothing is happening. Just because the crowd isn't cheering doesn't mean the stage isn't being built. Just because the spotlight hasn't hit you yet doesn't mean the moment isn't real. There is movement in the silence, favor in the waiting, purpose in the pause. The table is not a metaphor. It's an appointment. And you're not late. You're right on time. You've been walking past closed doors, wondering if any of them were meant for you. But those weren't denials. They were detours. You've been equipped in places no one else would volunteer to go. You've gained wisdom through wounds and strength through silence. So when your moment comes, you won't be nervous. You won't be desperate. You'll walk in with peace because deep down, you'll know the table didn't just appear when you arrived. It was waiting all along. You don't need an announcement. You are the announcement. The world has convinced you that you must be introduced, validated, or confirmed before you can walk in your calling. But there comes a time when you realize no one is coming to hand you a crown. You were born with one. You don't need the red carpet rolled out. You are the reason the floor exists in the first place. The moment you start carrying yourself like you've already been called is the moment everything shifts. Because the true power, it's not in being seen, it's in showing up like you've already been chosen. So many people are sitting on the sidelines of their own destiny, waiting on applause, waiting on permission, waiting for someone else to declare, "You're ready now." But greatness has never been about permission. The people who change the world rarely wait for the world to recognize them first. They move forward before the world catches up. They live as if it's already done. Because deep down, they understand something most people don't. When your purpose is real, the announcement is internal before it's ever external. Every step you take, every room you enter, every space you claim, it's not arrogance, it's alignment. You're not demanding attention. You're stepping into your assignment. And when you know who you are, you don't shrink to fit the moment. You make the moment rise to meet you. That's the kind of presence no stage can fake and no title can create. You don't wait to be seen. You show up and shift the room. People feel it when you walk in, not because you said something loud, but because your spirit speaks louder than words. People may look at you and wonder what changed, why you carry yourself with more weight, why your silence feels louder. It's because you've realized your worth isn't attached to announcements. You've stopped performing and started becoming. You no longer crave validation because you've already accepted yourself. That kind of confidence. It doesn't brag. It doesn't beg. It just is it. It walks into meetings, into interviews, into conversations and says, "I belong here," without ever needing to explain why. There's something unshakable about knowing your value without needing to prove it. It frees you. It grounds you. It keeps you from being moved by the opinions of people who can't see what you carry. The announcement they're waiting for will come. But by the time it does, you'll be too deep into your purpose to even notice. You won't need the headline because your life will already be the message. The evidence will speak for itself. The transformation will be undeniable. And the best part, you won't have changed to impress anyone. You just finally decided to walk in who you've always been. You've spent enough time trying to shrink your light to fit someone else's comfort zone. But now you walk in like the answer has already been written. You smile like the door is already open. You plan like the resources are already in place. Because when you start moving like it's already yours, the universe starts making room for what belongs to you. And when you walk like the announcement has already happened, the world has no choice but to catch up. The spotlight doesn't define you. The stage doesn't make you important. You are valuable before anyone ever recognizes it. You are equipped before anyone ever says, "Congratulations." Stop waiting for someone to confirm what you already know in your spirit. Every time you doubt yourself, you hand your power to people who didn't give it to you in the first place. You've already been affirmed in silence. Now it's time to move like it. Your voice matters before the mic. Your gift mattered before the crowd. You were chosen before the world saw you. And you'll still be chosen even if they never do. You don't need the lights. You are the light. You don't need the introduction. You are the introduction. And when you finally believe that, everything around you will start to respond to the authority you've already been carrying. Move like the answer is yes. Walk like the door is already open. Speak like the deal is already done. Because the moment you shift from doubt to belief, the entire atmosphere around you changes. The world responds to energy. It bends to certainty. When you start acting like what you've prayed for is already yours, you no longer approach life timidly. You step with boldness, with clarity, with a fire that makes no room for hesitation. You stop asking, "Am I worthy?" and begin declaring, "This is mine," not out of arrogance, but out of deep alignment with who you know you are. There is a different kind of confidence that comes when you stop waiting for the green light and realize the road has always been yours. You're not trespassing. You're not intruding. You were made for this. And when you move like the answer is yes, you don't just change your pace. You change your posture. Your head is higher. Your shoulders are back. Your presence enters the room before your words ever do. And it's not about who notices you. It's about how fully you show up in what's already been set aside for you. Most people wait for signs. They wait for someone else to confirm the calling that's been burning in them for years. But those who break barriers don't wait to be told. They declare it in the way they move. They step into new territory without having all the details. They launch the idea before they have a team. They apply for the role before they feel qualified. And in doing so, they activate something that hesitation can never reach. They tap into the kind of power that only shows up when you leap without a net, believing that what's on the other side is already prepared. The world belongs to those who act like it belongs to them. That's not entitlement. That's ownership. When you treat your dream like it's already in progress, the resources start to appear. The right people start to show up. The opportunities begin to unfold. Not because magic happened, but because your movement gave momentum to the vision. The moment you stopped sitting on the sidelines, life started rearranging itself around your courage. What looked impossible began to bend toward your effort. You can't move like maybe and expect results like yes. You can't plant seeds of doubt and harvest a field of confidence. Everything starts with your decision to move differently. You have to walk into rooms like your name already belongs on the door. You have to talk about your dream like it's already being built. You have to write, speak, build, lead as if the outcome is guaranteed. Because that level of belief creates a ripple that changes not only what's possible, it changes what's expected. When you move like the answer is yes, you stop giving energy to fear. Fear thrives in hesitation. It multiplies in indecision. But once you commit, once you say, I'm doing this, fear loses its grip. Your commitment silences the noise. The same obstacles that once paralyzed, you suddenly shrink under the weight of your determination. What used to feel like mountains become stepping stones, not because they changed, but because you did. You became someone who doesn't ask for permission to exist boldly. That kind of movement doesn't just shift your reality. It inspires others. People watch how you carry yourself. They watch how you bet on yourself. And sometimes your boldness becomes the blueprint for someone else's breakthrough. You never know who's waiting to see what it looks like to move with conviction in the face of uncertainty. And that's why this isn't just about you. When you move like the answer is yes, you lead without even trying. Your life becomes a living invitation for others to rise. Every time you move with full belief, you're rewriting your story. You're telling the world, I will not shrink to fit your doubt. I will not pause to make you comfortable. I will not question what I know is mine. And every single step you take reinforces that truth, not only for you, but for everyone watching. So here we are. You've heard the truth. You've felt the shift. And now there's only one thing left to do. Walk like it's already yours. No more waiting for the perfect time. No more asking for signs. No more shrinking your power just to fit into rooms too small for your destiny. This is your time to move, not with fear, not with hesitation, but with the confidence of someone who knows the answer is why yes. The yes is already in motion. The breakthrough has already been scheduled. The opportunity is already searching for you. The only thing left is for you to show up fully, unapologetically, and completely convinced that you belong in the place you're headed. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are not late. You are aligned. And alignment doesn't need applause to be powerful. It just needs action. So step like the ground was made for you. Speak like your words shape the future. Move like the door will open because you showed up. Don't wait for the announcement. You are the announcement. And everything you've been waiting for is already on its way. Now go. Go like you already know what happens next. Because it's not coming, it's here.